I've been doing it for so long. But you know, there's all the greatest hits records and all that stuff. But 17 proper studio albums.
And what was it specifically about like this moment in your personal life and your career where you said, I want to make an album, I want to make the 17th album, very reminiscent, focusing on legacy, you know, with Standing Room Only being the title and cover song?
Well, you know, I think it came out of, you know, I released my last album, I guess, right at the beginning of COVID. And so I started collecting songs and working on songs during all the downtime that we had, working on music and recording and doing stuff like that. And I think that just watching what was going on, you know, in the world around us and seeing what we were going through. And then as the world started getting its feet back under it, seeing all of that process. And I thought that it was just the right time to sort of put some music out that had a lot of gratefulness to it and a lot of you know, just life affirming sort of songs and stories, and try to make everything pretty cinematic and let everybody sort of put themselves as the main character in each song.
Yeah, so almost kind of like creating an anthology.
Absolutely, yeah, you're trying to, you know, and there's some fun stuff on there as well, and some great up-tempo things, but even some of the up-tempo songs have a really cool sort of message to them.
And talk to me about specifically the one that really drew me, that almost felt like it had like a double meaning, was Whisky. Yeah. Can you talk a little bit about the story behind that song?
Yeah, I mean, it was just one of my favorite songs when I first heard it. A couple of the writers on it are two of my best friends, the Warren Boys, and you know, we all went through a particularly rough period in our life, younger, when we were first coming up together and hanging out together, and so that song sort of tells a little bit of the story of my life in a lot of ways. Not exactly, but you know, it resonates with me, and it's something that was really personal in a lot of ways. And I think to me, that song, you can feel that, you can feel the emotion, and you can feel the honesty in the track. And that's the very first vocal from the very first run through at 10 o'clock at night. My voice is shredded, and that's what we ended up keeping.
Oh,
and I kept trying to beat it, and I could beat it singing, but I couldn't beat it emotionally, and I couldn't beat the rawness, and I couldn't beat the honesty of it. So we ended up keeping that.
You can feel the raw emotion through.
Yeah, there was a lot of
that
tension
song,
in it.
Yeah, and through most of this album as well. And I wanted to ask you specifically, do you feel that your step into acting, kind of then going into this album, helped you to really look at those characters through the different songs and analyze them in a different way?
Yeah, I think my acting career has informed my music much more than my music has informed my acting career, if that makes any sense. So I think it's allowed me to sort of step back and look at it from a different perspective, and it's been something that's been very helpful.
And with the current strikes going on right now, what was your first reaction when you heard Fran and Duncan announce it?
Well, I mean, look, I love acting. I've had a great time being an actor and being involved in great projects and working with some great people, and I completely support all my SAG brothers and sisters and what they have to say, and I stand behind them 100%.
You're describing this album as being cinematic. Are you essentially taking that quality and applying it to the production design, to the set design when going out later this year?
We are. I mean, this is the first time we've been in arenas in a long time, and I think that this production is probably one of the coolest, biggest, most cinematic productions that we've ever had. And it's gonna blow people away. I think it blows me away just seeing the drawings of it, and I can't wait to get on there and really work that stage and figure out how to figure out all the bells and whistles on it. But it's fun for us to have something new like that and put together a new show and put together a new tour with all the screens and all the moving parts. It's gonna be fun. We're really excited.
And specifically going with Carly Pearce.
I know.
What are you most excited about?
Yeah, she's such a fantastic artist and doing so well, and big fan of hers. Our whole family's a big fan of hers, so looking forward to having her out. She's going to add a lot to the show.
I'm always amazed that you did, in 2009, that collaboration with Nelly.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, what are some future unexpected collaborations that you'd love to do that the public wouldn't expect you to
Well,
say?
there's a few. I mean, gosh, I'd love to do a record with my wife and my daughter, so all five of us to do something together would be a lot of fun. George Strait would be at the top, on my list, right at the top of my list. Chris Stapleton would be at the top of my list, and probably the ultimate would be to do something with Bruce Springsteen. I'm a huge fan of his, and huge fan of his not only as an artist but as a person. So
what is it about him?
Well, he's just, you know, you meet a lot of people in this business, and every now and then you run across someone who's just so comfortable with himself, and he's just so comfortable with himself. He's Bruce, and,
That's true.
but he's so nice to everybody, and he's
Yeah.
just a regular guy. He's just a good guy.
And what is it? I mean, you've been on, countless tours for so many years. What is it about that moment when you step out on stage and you're playing a few songs and you hear the crowd, singing your lyrics back to you, singing these songs that you've poured your heart and soul into?
There's nothing like it. It's the best feeling in the world. And sometimes it really comes in handy, especially if I forget the words, because they know all of them, so I can just hold the microphone and let them sing sometimes. But yeah, there's nothing like that energy. There's nothing like that energy right before you go on stage. And I grew up being an athlete, so it's very reminiscent to me of right before you run out on the football field or right before you run out on the basketball court. All that pent up energy that you have and the excitement that you have, and you're just sort of ready to go. And the band and I, we all feel that energy, and we warm up in the dressing room playing songs together and getting ready, and that just sort of gets us psyched up as well.
So
But it's always fun. People ask a lot of times, what's your favorite song to play live? And for us, we are always excited to play new music, and that's what we're really, really excited about on this tour, is playing some new songs, but going back and, when we play a show, we only have such a limited amount of time, so a lot of times we don't get to play a lot of the hits. So you have to be very careful in the songs that you pick and trying to set a show up. So next year we'll get to play a lot of songs that we haven't played in a while, a lot of the hit records we haven't played in a while. So that's going to be fun too. It's going to be fun for me because I'm going to have to relearn a bunch of them because I haven't sang them in so long. But that's a challenge that I'm looking forward to.
And if not, you just stick the mic out and let the audience
Maybe they'll
sing
know
it
them,
back,
yeah.
right? If you're comfortable answering, have you been able to listen to Jason Aldean's new single that has been charting?
I'll be completely honest. I've heard all the hubbub about it, but I haven't heard the song and I haven't seen the video, so I couldn't intelligently give an answer. So I really don't know. I haven't seen it, but I'm not going to tell an artist what they should cut, or what my opinion is. I'll tell you what I like, and I'll let my songs sort of speak for themselves.
And that would actually lead into my last question for you is, what is your opinion as an artist on the public essentially challenging a message if they feel that it could be harmful or could be hateful?
Well, I think you're an artist and you cut the songs you want to cut and you deal with the consequences.